Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, please go down and subscribe. Whether you come back or not, it helps me out as a creator. So today we're talking about air and shop air and dry air and why you want dry air to begin with and the cheapest way to go about getting it. So let's go on outside and get into today's video. So here's my air system under my little lean-to. Now, the lean-to by itself, I will tell you guys that anytime you can get 100 plus decibels out of your shop, it's going to save you a lot of headache. All right, so if you can do this, just build this and move it outside, that's going to be a lot better on you. But what we've done is the air line that comes out of the head, okay, it goes into an oil cooler, air conditioner cooler or condenser or whatever. I believe this one is out of an 80s Ford pickup, but it was an eBay find and it actually come with barb fittings on the bottom. So I literally just bolted this thing up and plumbed some hoses and I was running. All right, just to be on the safe side, it actually cools very well on its own, but just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and I got a like a 12-inch electric fan, okay, for automotive use. It is 12 volt, and the way you take care of that is you run a 12 volt power adapter, okay, make sure that the amp is the right for what you're running, and then I just wired that adapter into my switch, okay, so when the compressor's running, the fan's running. All right, once everything comes out of there, okay, the whole reason for this is on a hot day or after 15-20 minutes of running your air compressor, your head temperature will be upwards of 300 degrees. If you have 300 degrees going directly into your tank and say it's only 80 degrees out, then that cooling of that air condenses and creates water pressure, or I'm sorry, it creates water inside your tank, and that's what you do not want. So by going through the air cooler radiator system, all right, it cools the air and it still has moisture in it, but we catch it right here on a water trap. Now, when I turn my system on, I come out here and I drain my water trap. Now, I've already drained it today, but just a couple of PSI, and you know, you open that and it blows all the water out of it right away. And then the air comes and it goes right into the tank. Now, as you can see, my switch is here, but I have actually another tank set up, and this allows me to have a lot more capacity in my air lines and in my air system. So everything comes out of here and then goes through this tank and then inside into the wall. So this whole system, the radiator, the fan, and the adapter, I want to say was like a little over $100. Just kind of have to shop around and see what you can find. But I didn't have to solder anything. I didn't have to go through the brass, and you know, guys do the brass thing on the wall and 4 water traps and all that crap. And hey, you guys got the wall space and the time to do that, you all go ahead. But this works flawlessly for me, and ever since I quit doing it, I've never had any water in either tank. And I've got another water trap inside. It's never had water in it. I have a bead dryer, okay, which is, it traps water that is in the air going through the line, and it's been in there for a year, and those beads are still kind of purple, okay. They're blue when you get them, and then when they're clear, you're supposed to swap them out. Well, they're still got color in them after a year, so I don't use that very often, only for my plasma cutter. But that system works out flawlessly, and you know, all I did was hang a radiator and put a fan on it. So guys, check this option out. I'll go in and give a full rundown for those who want to stick around of my complete air system. It's pretty minimal, but you guys want to stick around for that? Let's go back inside. So up here on the wall, we've got a 50-foot hose reel, and I've actually replaced that. I've had that for a couple years, but I just actually have a PVC line that runs the full length of the building, 32 feet, and then comes down and goes right here to my junction. All right, so on my junction, this is what comes out of the tank, goes to right here. got a pressure gauge for tank pressure and then line pressure, and then it comes up to this T. This goes up there and goes to my hose reel and has pressure all the time. However, if I want to run my plasma cutter, or if I want to run tools that definitely have to be extremely dry, I just open up this valve and I run my supply right here. That is my entire air system. All of it. Got a hose reel up there. Actually got another hose reel right here, but I hardly ever use it, okay? I've got a few tools strategically placed right next to my air line, okay? There's a 20-ton air over hydraulic jack, or shock press, right here next to my supply line. The only thing that I don't have that I would like to have is, I'd like to have that switch that's out there, have it in here, but you know, it's really not that big a deal. I just walk back here and plug it in. It stays on all the time out there, and then when I want it off, I just unplug it. Sometimes I forget to unplug it, but hey, that ain't no big deal. I would bet that my whole air system, air lines, 2 hose reels, this little union that I got going on here, my compressor, my radiator, and the water trap, I bet all together I probably don't have $700 in it. And it's dry air. And it provides me with like 150 PSI through the tanks and 120 PSI in here in the shop. And I usually turn it to 80, and you don't run all the time. So, hey, it's pretty good stuff. Guys, if you like what you've seen here today, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because it helps me out whether you come back or not. But if you like what you've seen here today, smash that like and share with a friend. And I'll see you on the next one.